What are we doing tomorrow, Andy?
We demand equal sections.
Equal sections?
So you're not down here, are you? You are nemesis. The blue team and the white team.
We're up for that, JK.
Oh yeah.
JW. JK.
So who suggested it? Our captain suggested it.
Assess the conditions on the day and adapt accordingly. That's the plan. Yeah, so nothing's
written in stone.
Nothing's ruled out, yeah.
Mr. Bond.
Go for one big fish, that's all I'm saying.
One big fish. I like it. What we got?
I like.
Bob T.
2 big fish, at least.
2 big fish.
Yeah. Good. That else is a bonus.
Just like hooked arm in arm.
Oh yeah.
JK.
How are you doing?
What's the plan for tomorrow?
The plan is to get lots of small fish and get lucky and get a couple of big ones.
I like it.
Hey John, my target tomorrow is 5 pound of fish minimum.
Do you want my plan for tomorrow? I'm going to weigh in at least half a pounder empty.
Peter, love that. What we got, mate? Philosophy, as long as you don't come last.
Arrive at RG17OUN.
Right then guys, welcome to another episode of Hooked. My name's John Murray and I'm an angling addict, and today you join me down on the banks of the Kennet and Avon Canal at Hungerford. We're actually here fishing the 43rd WICAC Water Industries Coarse Angling Championships. It's an event full of prestige and history. We've got 15 teams of 5 competing for the title today. I've never fished this venue at this location before. I have fished it in Devisors, but that was probably over a decade ago, so it's all new fishing to me really. We're going by what we've learnt from word of mouth. So I've got 5 rigs set up. I've got one for the inside line at about 3 metres. That's going to be a squat line. We're probably just going to feed a little bit of ground bait and squat over that and fish pinky or squat over the top of it. We've got one just back from the centre where the deepest water is, which is probably only about 3.5 foot deep. And I've come back so that we're about 6 inches shallower than that. And that's going to be our main line of attack for big fish. We're going to feed chop worm and caster on that along with ground bait again. And then on the far line we've got an 11 metre line. It's about 2 foot deep. I'm just going to cup some loose ground bait in on that and feed caster over the top, and hopefully we'll get a few roach coming onto that later in the day. We're about 5 minutes out from the all-in now, so I'm going to start forming some balls up, get the pole shipped out and get ready for the off. Don't forget guys, if you enjoy the videos, give me the big old thumbs up, consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss an episode every time I upload one. Time! That's time guys, let's go. Just going to chop a little bit of worm up, cup that out on my main line of attack. I think if the boats go through we're going to have to keep refeeding throughout the course of the day. I'm only going to put like 2 small tangerine sized balls in on this main line. This is going to be the line we're going to start fishing on to start with. See if we can get some decent fish out. Unfortunately there's a boat coming through right now, so it's probably best that we just haven't fed just yet. We'll just let that settle. These groundbait balls don't need to be large. They're and they don't need to be particularly tightly packed because it's so shallow. So I'm just going to pop the worm into the balls, get that down there and get it fed. That's all I'm going to go out with to start with. Quite small. Just going to feed this one top 2+2. I'm going to keep it off to my right hand side slightly. So fishing out at about 11 o'clock. That's it, that's that one fed. Yeah, so I'm just going to cup some loose ground bait in on the shallow line and some caster. Not a huge amount, just a nice loose 150ml cup, a few casters just to start that line off, and then we can feed caster over the top of it with the catapult. Right, so on this line, the standard rig is going to be a 0.3 grams Allen Scott on SF1 float. At the moment, I'm just got it bulked with 3 number 8s, a number 10 trim shot, and another number 8 dropper. And we're fishing that about an inch on the deck with a size 20 carbon match hook at the moment. We can go down to a fine wire if we need to. I'm just going to start on a red maggot and try the worm on it. That's all we've fed on it so far. Just start feeding that caster line. So apparently we're not supposed to let the float run through at all. So we've just got to try and hold it dead still. See if we get any bites, and that is a bite. We've got a fish on. Ah, it's come off. Felt like a decent skimmer that actually. Looks like we've got snot up the line. So there are fish there, straight away. Can't believe it fell off. We'll just go a bit steadier. We'll just hold tight on it. That's a bite. Small fish. Ah, that one's come off as well. Okay, I'm just going to swap that hook straight away. Drop 2 fish there. That is really positive. Okay, we're back out. Keep feeding that caster across, because if there's a lot of fish in this area, then we might draw some decent fish in on the caster. And we've got this little squat line just down in front for the whip. We'll feed a few in there. That's a bite. Right, fish on. Okay, we've got him this time. Nice little perch. We'll just settle the nerves, catch anything we can. And try and get in a rhythm. I think it's going to be key keeping topping these lines up when the boat's gone through, assuming we're getting plenty of bites. That's another bite. Got a fish on. Another nice little perch. This is an excellent start. Just stick with the red maggot for now. Worm might sort out some better fish. Oh, just want to get a few in the net. Yeah, that's a bite. Another tiny little fish. Small roach. It. Another fish on. Took a little bit longer to get that bite. Another tiny roach. Canal stopped towing, so presentation is good. Bite developing. A bit of a slow burner this one. Could be a bream. It's gone. Fish on. Let's have a look. Is it a skimmer? I think it is. Yeah, it's a classic kind of bite. Lovely, that's what we want. They're little weight builders. That's sort of the target species. If there's bream down there at the moment, I think we'll just try a little piece of worm. Let's just see if it's going to produce. It'll just be worth lucifying a few red maggots over the top of this. We'll just see how this putting goes with the worm. That's a fish, yeah. Oh, that's a better fish. Oh, decent bream this. Good run down the canal here. I'll try and bring him back. Lose this fish. Tiny up, but that piece of worm really seems to have sorted that better stamp out there. He's going the other way now. Just try and turn him. That's it, he's got his head up. Yes! That's a proper Brucey bonus. Lightly hooked in the lip there, but happy with that for a starter. So, pop another piece of worm on. See if we can nick another one of them. Make sure the squat line's got a few going in. We might rely on it later. The canal's towing back at me right now, which is less than ideal. Maybe another boat gonna come through. A good dip on the float there. You don't want to hit it too early. Just keeping it tight while it's towing. Okay, well it's just towing off to the left at the moment. That seems to have had a little bit of an impact on the bite. A few casters going in on that foul line. A lot of people fishing out long at the moment. I'll just watch them fishing that sort of 2-foot line. And mine's out at 11 metres. Just looking for another big bream now. Still got the worm on. Okay, so no bite on the worm this time, but we'll try a red maggot on this line again before I contemplate feeding anything else on it. Just trying to gauge what I need to feed, whether it's worth loose feeding maggot over the top, or whether we just keep putting a bit of chopped worm in with the ground bait. I think probably it is worth loose feeding the maggot, just to get something down there. I might even feed castor on it. It's definitely gone a little bit quiet on that line. No bites so far. That's interesting because we've got a lot of bites straight away on here. That nice big bream, probably hooked into and lost a bream straight off. I'm going to contemplate putting another ball of ground bait on this with a bit more worm. I think we'll just start feeding a few reds in as well. Not too many. Alright, bite developing. Okay, we're into a fish. Looks like a perch. Might be a roach actually. Or is it a small skimmer? No, it's a skimmer. Took a while to come. That's good, they haven't disappeared on us yet. Okay, again I'll just try a small section of worm. See if we can find a Brucey bonus fish. Looking good so far in this peg. Didn't fancy it when I saw it. Apparently this is the harder section on sea. The way it is right now, there's clearly fish here. We'll just keep castor going out long. Squat down the inside. Quite a good flow on it. You can see the squats moving through the water, towing to the right. It looks fairly static on top, but there's definitely a bit of current on it. 0.3 gram rig feels about right in the depth that we're fishing out there. As I say, we've got a 0.5 gram set up as well, so I just need to hold back that a little bit harder. Yeah, it seems to have gone quiet on the worm. Let's try the red maggot again. Thinking about putting a little bit more ground bait on this line. Don't want to look on my other lines just yet. If I top up with ground bait, I'll probably go and have a look on the other line. There's a bait developing. Definitely something on that now. Yeah, fish on, small roach. I think I'll just top this line up and we'll go and have a look on the caster line. If we don't get a response on that after a few minutes, we'll have a look on this little squat line and then we'll come back onto this. This is going to be the main line of attack, as I say. That's it. Okay, so this is the far over rig. It's just again Alan Scott on SF1 float. It's a 0.2 gram this time, and we've got number 10s just dotted down the line. We're going down to the size 22 hook at the moment. That's just trying to gauge what we can get away with. We can get away with the 20s, then we'll get back on the 20s. We'll just go for a slow fall on this, just spacing the shots about every 4 inches apart. Pop a caster on, see if anything of better quality is waiting for us out there. So, just lay it in. So I have to take one of those number 10s off. Float's sinking. Okay, that's better, that's dotted down nicely. That is a bite. Wow. I lost him. Definitely something having a go at the caster out there. Might want to be tiny, tiny fish though. Okay, I'm just going to throw a red maggot over. There's definitely a bite on the red maggot there, so it was a little bit fast. I suspect it was a roach. Yeah. Another dip on it there. So this line may come on later in the day. I'm not overly positive at the moment. I think that's a bit slow at the moment. I won't spend too much time on it, we'll just try and keep building that line. Right, we'll just have a look on this squat line, fish pinky on it, see if there's anything down here waiting. Just trying to assess all our options at this moment in time. Ginger's got one off the far bank, looks like a roach. Doesn't look to be anything really happening on this squat line right now. No signs on that. So it may take a while for them to come close on this line. We're told it might be a last hour thing. So I'm going to go back on my main line of attack. Just keep feeding these other two lines. See if anything's waiting where we put that ground bait. It's a bite straight away. Take. I think. Oh, fish on. Small fish. Tiny, tiny fish. Foul hooked. The smallest of roaches. Okay. Just going to try a pinky. We're getting a few more of them skimmers. Just towing back towards us ever so slightly right now. Certainly gone a bit quiet. Just try a tiny bit of worm, literally the nib. That's a bite. Not taking confidently at the moment, not like they were when we started. Sun's getting up quite high though. Could be impacting it. It's definitely a bite developing though, just need it to go. Difficult to get a proper bite right now. Certainly fish there, but they seem to have switched off a bit. That's a bite. Yeah, small fish. Tiny, tiny fish. Tiny, tiny gudgeon. There's a lot of leaf out there, causing problems casting in. Just trying to find a clear spot to lay the rigging. Yes, fish. It's quite a quick bite on the red maggot. The small roach. I'm afraid somebody's doing some strimming or something opposite. So, apologise if the sound isn't great right now. Right guys, I knocked the camera off for a bit because the strimmer on the other side was making the noise a bit bad really for filming. I've not really had any more decent fish. I've had quite a few really tiny, tiny little fish. Gudgeon, small roach. That's been about the size of it really. Started to get a few indications on the far line. I've refed the lines 2 or 3 times now with just a small ball of ground bait and some chopped worm on the inside. But it's not really having much of a response. And boats keep coming through and I think it just disturbs what bait I have put down. So continued loose feeding caster over the top on this long line, and I'm just going to see if we can get anything, but when the boats come through and the locks open up it tows pretty hard and it's quite difficult to present the bait, but it soon eases off again. A boat's just been through and it's really cooled the water up, so I just thought I'd try. I just nicely put a ball in as well just before I saw it come through, but there's not much I can do about that really. I don't know how much it's washing out. I'd been feeding loose ground bait on this far line, but decided to just squeeze a ball down and try and see on the bottom, see if it makes a difference. I do only think there's only tiny roach on it though at this moment in time. Been fishing the red maggot over the top of the caster and ground bait just to get a bite. Not had any indications on the squat line. Whether that will fish in the last hour remains to be seen. So many willow blades on top as well, it's making dropping in a bit tricky. Just going to lower the rigging, try and avoid the willow blades. That's a bite, that's a fish. So there are definitely a few fish on that long line now. As I say, they're only small. Whether they're worth catching over anything on the inside, I mean, they're not really weight, but if everybody's struggling, then you just got to catch what you can. Another tiny gudgeon. Again, I'll just lower in. Well, this line seems desperately slow. And come in and have a look on the deeper line again. Just hoping we're going to tempt some more breaming. That's a good bite there. That was a good bite on the maggot. I fed it predominantly with worm and put a few red maggots on it, so it may turn up a few perch if we're lucky as well. Small fish, roach. Just not getting signs of a bite now. See if a couple of squats can bring us something. That's a bite. Yeah, fish on the squat. Tiny fish. Just don't seem to be anything else willing to bite right now. Another bite on the double squat there. It's moving off. Yeah, fish on. They're small. Maybe if that's all that's down there, we'll try the squat line with squat on the whip. That's another bite and another fish. A slightly better stamp. Don't get me wrong, they're not big. So, clearly a few tiny fish down there willing to take squat. They're not going to build much weight, but some weight's better than no weight. I'm just thinking, let's pick the whip up, have a look on the squat line, see if anything's actually been sitting on it. That's a bite. Bite on the whip on squat. Hasn't gone properly, but definitely some fish there now. Yep, fish. So these are fish in miniature. Getting lots of bites on these squats. Just pulling the float down and then letting go. Just going to make it a little bit more sensitive. Shot it down a touch more. Yeah, another one. I heard the squat line could turn a few fish up. There it goes. That's a fish though. Let's just try a single white pinky. Yeah. One on the pinky. So I think maybe we've had our bonus fish early doors. Now it's just a case of putting any kind of weight in the net. Yeah, another one. I think what I'll do is I'll introduce some more worm and ground bait onto that line just to have a look on it in a bit. You never know, we might just get one more bonus fish with it. Which it seems to be doing now. It's getting a little bit bigger. Right, I'm just going to feed a bit more worm in on this line. Got just over an hour and a half for this match to go. So I might as well put something down there. Try and attract a few bream in. I'll pop a few casters and a few maggots on it as well. Give it a good feed on the inside. I think I might actually put some worm on the outside line as well. It's not really fished, but it's worth just putting a cup over, just looking for that bigger fish. One big fish makes a difference on here, it would seem. This will probably be the final feed of the day onto these lines. I'll put 2 tangerines on this line again. I think I'll put the same on the one line now. Certainly feel this inside line's the best chance of throwing up a bream. So I'll just cup in this one more. There we go. That's that line done. It looks like it's towing down again. I don't know whether a boat's coming, which would not be ideal. It's stood still for quite some time. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. Just going to have to feed in now. That's it, we're in. We'll just give that a rest now. Get on the whip line. See what we can take out. And then we'll have a look on each of those. Hopefully, snare as a bream. So I think I'll just go back on the white pinky. See if we can keep catching a few of these small roach. Definitely towing off to the right a bit, so I'll put my balls on the long line up to the left slightly of where I want to be fishing. The surface skim on this canal is just moving from right to left. It's towing right back now. I think there's got to be a boat coming through. It's actually pulling left. We're still able to catch these on the inside. Such tiny fish. But you know what, after the recent matches I've had, I'm just happy to be getting bites. I'll just hold off feeding him while it's towing so hard. Can't hold this float back, it's only a 0.2 gram Scotthorn silverfish. So it's just a case of flicking it in, trying to grab a fish quickly. Yeah. This is the whip rig. It's just a 0.2 gram Scotthorn SF1, and it's just shotted with strung out shots, number 10s down the line. I think there's about 5 or 6 of them, and we're on a size 22 hook, fine wire hook. Just fishing a single pinky now, or double squat. All of these reeds floating right in front of me. That's a fish. Nice little squat fish that. Yeah, there's a boat coming, so that's going to disturb all the ground bait. Might be worth us just having a look on those lines right now before that shifts it. Starting to tow down the river, tow down the canal. Feels like a river right now. We'll just take the opportunity before the bait gets disturbed to have a look on these. At least this short line. So we'll just go in with the red maggot for sake of speed. What I'd give for a big bonus fish now. Definitely a bite there. It's the first time we've had a bite on that line for a while. Looks like a roach bite though. Don't think we're going to get the opportunity to hook into anything before this boat comes through. Okay. Smash maggot though. It's definitely stirred that far line up. Because he's stayed off to the far side though. Don't seem to have impacted the inside line too much. Might still be an opportunity for a fish off this. Ginger's just caught a decent perch. Oh, we've got a roach. Roach on. Not a bad little fish actually. Not as big as this perch down there though. It's towing too hard out there at the moment. So I'll just go back on the whip. Certainly got some flow on it right now. Easy enough. Hopefully these fish will come back now. I'm not getting a bite. Another boat coming through. Bites have definitely died off on this squat line since the boats came through. Now I've got another one. Back on the deep rig. A quick look on the maggot and a look on the worm. I'll do the same and go over. I'm not sure how much of that bait will remain on these lines. Doesn't look to be any sign on this. Okay, we'll go have a look over. Try a little piece of worm. That's a bite. I've got a fish on. That's a bad little roach on the worm. So that paid off. That's another bite. Lost it. Gotta be really steady with them. Drop off the hook dead easy. Definitely a better roach though. There's another shy bite. It's definitely not electric over there. There are a few fish. Oh, that was a bite and we missed it. Okay. A slightly smaller piece of worm on. I may go over and just try a caster. Definitely know we can get a bite on the worm. Fed a lot of caster out there today. Let's see if we can't catch one on it. Half an hour remaining. and get a few stamp fish and bump the weight up. That's about the best we can do now, I think. I know Ginger's got a few. Not sure how many, he's not been bagging. Seen him have the odd better fish though. Certainly no instant reaction on caster, although worm's not instant either. So I'll just give it a little while longer. Well, no, can't seem to tempt a bite on caster. So I'll put another piece of worm on to see if we can get another one of these quality roach. Say quality, 3 ounce maybe. Will this bring the positive bite I need? Oh, that took such a long time to go. It finally went, it was rapid, we missed it. Certainly not biting confidently. That was another bite though there, straight away. Missed that as well. There's definitely some fish down there having a go at this worm. We're just not taking it confidently. I do not believe it. Got 3 or 4 bites of the cherry here. Can't hook into this fish. That has gone. Right, fish on. Not really worth it. No wonder you can't hit some tiny fish on the worm. There's really not a lot of doing out there. Maybe I should just go back on the whip for the last 20 minutes. Just have one more put with this worm. It results in the same size fish or nothing. Going in for the last 15. Boat coming. Okay. Too slow that. Yeah, another little fish. It's been a tough one, guys, but at least we've had a few fish and a few bites, so I've been entertained. Don't forget, if you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss an episode every time I upload one. Got 10 minutes to go. Just going to try and take a couple more of these spot fish. I'm going to have a look on the worm on the inside. That'll probably be it. If I wrap up, get the weighing done. I'm still getting some weight. They all count these in team events. I just wonder if anybody's game plan has been to target these tiny little fish on the inside all day and really put a weight of them together. Take a lot of doing to get 5 pound of them, like. They just don't come fast enough. Still want to have a look on the worm. There's another fish. Lovely. 5 minutes remaining. This inside line hasn't really been quick enough to do any real damage, unless anybody else's pegs fish better than this. They certainly weren't there to start with this morning. They're definitely there now. They are just like little 1/2 ounce fish though. Right, just put a nipper worm on the deep line. See if we can find one more bonus fish before the end. That's it, a piece of juicy worm. Swing her in. I'm going to lower her in because So many willow blades around. I'm weighing C-section in today, which is what I'm in. So once we shout time, I'll get wrapped up, we'll grab the scales, and then we'll go see what everybody's had in the section. Oh, Ginger's got another quality roach out there. Don't know how he's managed to find those. Looked a good £1/2 pound. Time! That's time, guys. Right, let's get wrapped up. Can't believe he got a fish at the death there. That might be enough for him to do me. Not sure where we'll have come, to be honest, but anyway, I feel we found what we could out of this swim. See you at the weighing.
What is it? Bournemouth, Michael?
Yeah, Michael, yeah. Sorry,
The mighty Bournemouth.
I don't know about that.
It's 3-0 here, mate.
Close. No, I thought you might more than one. That's it, I'll tell you.
Do you know, I thought you'd had more than that. I seen you pulling them in, I thought you'd had more. You've got 117. 1 kilo 17.
Yeah.
I think you had more than me.
Not a lot in there, pal. Not a lot in there.
Proper fish though.
Only one.
What, long or short?
Eh?
Did you catch it long?
Short. Got them early doors and then couldn't get nothing else, yeah. Oh, that's falling off. They don't come out them little ones, do they? Look at bloody size of them. Pairs of eyes, that's it, mate.
No, it's just the same. What, you're 11, aren't you?
Yeah, feels light.
Come on, John.
1 kilo
2.8.
28.
1 kilo 28.
Shocking. Even with that bream. Even with bream.
Do about 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah. What a poor show. No, I don't, mate. Disgusted. Look at these great big perch.
There were no telstra. I lost 2 decent.
I haven't even seen any perch like that.
Couple of them.
Put loads of worm in me, I know.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's a good weight.
Yeah, you've done well. You've done me. Nemesis.
Damn it.
Nemesis. You have. That's done me, that.
There's a little one in there.
Oh, there is. Could make all the
There's 2
difference.
kilo there, isn't it?
Massive weight, that.
Just one in the middle.
On worm.
Sorry?
You win it section. You are. You are. 211.
211. Well done, Andy. All.
Well done, Andy.
Come on, fish this, you know, but
Yeah, well, you don't want to make a habit of it.
Give me some tips for next time.
you don't need any tips off me, just.
Right. Yeah. I'll just double check it with net on afterwards because it's gone to 0.44 and it was 0.42 on others, so obviously.
9 John Paul. We're 6 below. Yeah.
Right, it's not 86.
0.86.
Not 86. I'm just going to. I'm just going to wait net, mate, because you might have. I might diddle you a couple of points there.
Oh, there's another one in there.
It's a knocked pod, obviously. It's not 88, mate.
0.88.
Yeah. Thought it was 0.42. It was weighing 0.44 because net's 0.42, so. Yeah, bring them up, mate.
What name is it?
Oh, what a perch that is. That is an absolute belting perch.
Yeah.
It must be knocking on £1.5, that,
Yeah.
£2. Really? Some big
John
fish.
Burns. It's got to be 2 kilo and all, hasn't it?
It feels heavy, actually. It feels heavier than Andy's.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
220.
Yeah, 220.
You're leading it, mate. Do you want a picture of her?
No,
No, you're alright. You caught. You ain't blanked. Not 1-3, Clive. Not 4. At least you didn't blank, mate.
Well, that's the only reason. I never lifted down.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
You've got to weigh in. You've got to.
Yeah, cheers.
Well done.
Andrew Chatterley, and it's
Take 6.
no C5.
C5. Oh yeah.
I reckon that's winning it. 2 kilo 43. Don't miss. No. Not 70, Clive. Not 0.7 kilo, mate. Nice little net. Well done. Oh, all these big perch.
Yeah.
I haven't seen none of them. Sorry, love, you just have to wait a second.
They've got away then, yeah. They've got away all the time.
Pushing it.
193.
Call it 2.
Oh no! Oh no!
Go on.
1 kilo 93.
They're all barren, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're not good.
I fancied some of these with reeds though.
Perch in there.
Yeah.
I've seen a perch up there.
Not like that. Andy's had a load though, hasn't he? I'm back to front here. I'm upside down, mate. Just pop them. Well, you done me anyway. 153, mate.
Doesn't make any difference that though, does it?
No. I tell you what, it's really similar weights everywhere, mate.
Right.
Not 41, Clive. Not kilo 41. Just shy of a pound, bud. Not a bad little skinner that either. So that was the end of the match, guys. Unfortunately, we all had to pack up and leave straight after the match. There was no presentation this year, which is a bit of a shame, but that's the COVID situation as it is. As you can see from the results here, Cormac Minahan was first, Robin Centre was second, and Kai Jerome was third. So a big well done to those guys taking the trophies. I hope you get a presentation at some point in the future. Overall team winners was Wessex Water Red, so a massive well done to them as well. I'll leave these on screen for a little bit so that you can see who all the section winners were and the top positions within the sections. Right, moving on, we've got the full individual results. If you look down to position 35, that's where I came. Yeah, not a wonderful result for me, but I think I did the best I could in that peg today. Moving on to the lower half of the individual results, down towards the bottom it looks like there were 4 blanks and 1 angler that didn't fish for EA North East. The next sheet shows the results in order of weight for sections A, B and C with the top part of D. If you look into C section, you'll see that I was 8th in the section, which is halfway up. So just an average result really on the day. And Nemesis Andy Hall's come 3rd in the section, so he's done really well for the Yorkshire Water White team. The next page is the lower half of D section and all of E section. And finally, on the last 2 slides, we've got the overall team positions with the points that they scored and the total team weights. So as you can see, Wessex Water Red took the team trophy, with Severn Trent Water taking 2nd place and EA Anglia taking 3rd place. The results below the team's results show each individual within that team and the weights and points that they scored in alphabetical order. Anyway, that's fishing, that's team fishing. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and until the next one, thanks for watching and tight lines.